Welcome to the Bachelor's Program in Psychology. Right behind me you can see the buildings of the Brightlands Maastricht Health Campus, which is the main hub of our psychology program. The university closely collaborates with the academic hospital, which is physically connected to this building. But we also conduct a lot of research here. Maastricht University's psychology program combines the study of internal and mental processes with courses on brain activity as a source of our behavior. In the upcoming minutes, I will tell you more about the bachelor's program. So please join me while I go inside. The Bachelor Psychology is one of the biggest programs at Maastricht University. Each year, more than 200 students obtain their psychology degree here. One of the unique things about this program is that it is taught using problem-based learning, which allows us to bring real-life problems into the classroom. This means you don't just acquire knowledge, you also obtain the skills you will need later on in your career. The program is not just offered in Dutch, it's also taught in English, and our students come from all over the world.
My name's Maud, I'm 20 and I'm from England. I've spent the last 2 years studying at the University of Sussex in Brighton, and now I'm here on my year abroad exchange year. I chose here because I did some research and it seemed like a really beautiful city, quite chilled, quiet, but very big student town at the same time, like lots of students, a lot of international students.
But I bet you're wondering what the program is all about. Petra Herks is a lecturer in neuropsychology and she can tell you more.
Hi there. Of course I can tell you something about our beautiful program in psychology here in Maastricht. En welkom voor de Nederlandse bezoekers. So, it's important first to explain to you what psychology means. Psychology is, in my opinion, the scientific study of behavior, of human behavior. How do we act? What do we think? How do we feel? What kind of decisions do we make? These are important topics to discuss. And not only what we do or what we feel, but also what are the mechanisms explaining that there will be inter-individual differences. So, for instance, your friend might perceive things different than you perceive them. So you will learn a lot about the brain, how our brain works. You will learn about how to investigate, for instance, the individual differences, and why our brain sometimes makes mistakes.
Speaking of mistakes, there are fun ways to test whether you can spot them. Have a look at this video, for example.
Clearly, somebody in this room murdered Lord Smythe, who, at precisely 3:34 this afternoon, was brutally bludgeoned to death with a blunt instrument. I want each of you to tell me your whereabouts at precisely the time that this dastardly deed took place.
I was polishing the brass in the master bedroom.
I was buttering his lordship's scones below stairs, sir.
Why, I was planting my petunias in the potting shed.
Constable, arrest Lady Smythe.
But how did you know?
Madam, as any horticulturist will tell you, one does not plant petunias until May is out. Take her away.
Now, did you pay attention to what was going on? Did you really? Because I bet you didn't notice that this was happening.
Action. Clearly, somebody in this room murdered Lord Smythe, who, at precisely 3:34 this afternoon, was brutally bludgeoned to death with a blunt instrument. I want each of you to tell me your whereabouts at precisely the time that this dastardly deed took place.
I was polishing the brass in the master bedroom.
I was buttering his lordship's scones below stairs, sir.
Why, I was planting my petunias in the potting shed.
Constable, arrest Lady Smythe.
This is just one example that shows us how our brain works or doesn't work. You'll learn a lot more about all of this during the program. And if you belong to the very best students in your year, you've even got more options. We've got several honours programs for our most talented students. Isn't that right, Petra?
For our top students, we also have supplementary education programs. So we have an honors program and we have a marble program. And marble, for instance, is that you in the third year, you can conduct your own research. So if you really want to study something, then if you belong to the top students, you get the opportunity to study a topic that you really like and do an experiment on that. Once you've finished your bachelor's program here in Maastricht, we offer you also a number of highly interesting, at least to my opinion, master programs. We have 6 one-year master programs in psychology, in which you can be directly enrolled as soon as you finished your bachelor's program in psychology here in Maastricht. We also have a number of 2-year master programs in which you can further specialize yourself, for instance, in forensic psychology. These 2-year master programs, they are selective, so you have to apply and try to get a spot to be enrolled in these programs.
As you can see, you'll have plenty of opportunity to expand your skill set and become a top-rate scientist. Similar to our honours programs, the Bachelor's in Psychology is also a selective entry program. Our program only has a limited number of places available, and we would like to make sure that those seats are given to the most motivated students out there. That's why we've got a special admissions procedure in place. Petra, what does this procedure entail?
The Bachelor Study in Psychology in Maastricht is a selective program. We are looking for the most motivated students, the students that are most interested in psychology and who think they want to pursue a career in psychology. We have only a limited amount of spots available for those students. If you want to get enrolled, you have to get through a number of steps. For instance, you have to fill in a questionnaire answering questions like, why do I want to study psychology? What is my motivation? Finally, in this procedure, we would like you to fill in a test including questions on psychology. All in all, we just want to make sure that we're selecting the right people, but also that you are selecting the correct educational program for yourself. And look at our website to see more information on the content of our courses, so that you make the correct choice.
Petra, I couldn't have said it better myself. So, why don't you take a chance and register for the Bachelor's in Psychology? Who knows? Maybe we'll meet here at Maastricht University.